Good morning. I'm Abbie Esterline, and welcome to another episode of Celebration of Wisdom. Today, we are honored to have a nonagenarian featured. Among his many accomplishments are the 67 years of marriage to Mary Jane, who transitioned in 2020, having a legacy of 3 children, 6 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. He has a zest for life after retiring from his career as a realtor, accountant, and mortuary worker. He continues to bring smiles. His longevity includes extensive travel in an RV across the United States and Canada, playing many instruments, a lover of pets, specifically dogs, and holds seasonal tickets to local theater groups. He is a politically active Democrat with strong views, a good sense of humor, and can take on the best of them in a game of bridge. He brought joy to others in the hospital and hospice through volunteering and bringing his dogs to others. Welcome to Mr. JIM REIBEL and his daughter Denise REIBEL.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to have you both. So if you want to start off by talking a little bit about sort of like what the community means to you now and maybe how that's changed over your life.
What community means to him?
What does community mean to me?
Yes.
Community needs to be having compatible people in close, in easy contact.
Great. What do you want to talk a little bit about the work you've done in the community with like your therapy dogs and like other things that you've done in your life?
I want you to talk about your volunteer work.
Oh my goodness! They started off very early. They used to my parents had me doing volunteer work when I was a kid, and we did the same with raising our children. They were part of it, just always doing something for. Thanksgiving turkeys would go out, get a list from the welfare department, go out in the car and deliver them to houses, and Christmas gifts from the same stores, and go through the areas of low income. And somebody, I remember seeing one house was they lived in a garage with a dirt floor and a canvas over the dirt floor, and they were living in this garage. And we brought them food. That's what they really needed. And we always did that. That was part of their training. They're not the center of the universe, and other people are out there need help.
That's right. Talk about Rufus.
Oh, Rufus! I one of my volunteers was taking a therapy dog to hospitals and nursing homes. Rufus was a Yorkie, and a very emphatic. Empathetic was a better word for it. Yes, empathetic little dog. If he saw somebody laying in bed that was happy and gay, and I put him up to that person, he'd wag his tail and go up to him, and they get along fine. If they were in a coma or looked like they were in pain, he would very, very quiet, just lay there and look at them. In fact, one time, the woman hadn't said a word in 3 days, and the daughter was there, and she's the one who told me it's been 3 days since they heard it. She said anything. So I took the dog's paw and put it on her down on her stomach, I guess. And suddenly her arm went onto the back of the dog and started scratching it. And the poor daughter started crying. But because the mother actually smiled. So that was the magic of Roswell. He was very special dog. He's amazing.
And how about your volunteer work with hospice, Dad?
Oh, with hospice, that was again to let people get a night out. What I was doing, I would just sit there beside a dying person. I never heard a word from them. They were all just comatose. I was just there to be with them, and I'd hold their hand just to let them know that somebody's here. And they went out for dinner or something, or had to a party or whatever. So they needed a break, and I gave them a chance to have that break. But I even listen. Volunteering, holy moly! There's so many things I did. I was always wanting to put. We need somebody to do something. I always threw my hand up. I was a treasurer for Little League. I was elected deacon at church, and I don't know. I was always willing to be out front to do things.
Awesome. Thank you so much for touching on that. Would you like to talk about what you believe your biggest accomplishments are and how you felt you were able to achieve them?
What are your biggest accomplishments, and how do you feel you were able to achieve them?
Biggest achievements? Holy moly! I'm not sure I could give you a very long list of just raised three good kids that who were still close and good people, honest people, not a felon in the bunch, or somebody said not an ignorant, not an idiot in the bunch, or something like that. But yeah, they're all college educated, all good guys.
Even the girl.
Even the girl's a good guy. And one of the things I got through to them is to accept people the way they are, and to not judge them by their color or their religion or anything. That was taken out of them at an early age. In fact, when I was first one to sell a home to a black person in a white neighborhood in Kalamazoo, and I paid for it, but with some problems with people, but that was all right. The couple I've sold it to was an immigrant family from Ethiopia. It was back when the time when the monarchy was being overthrown by revolution, and they had to get out in the desert and march out to Egypt from Ethiopia to get to Kalamazoo. Both the mother and father were college graduates from Michigan State, so and I met them, sold them a home, and their two kids went to the public schools and Portage Central at that, or Kalamazoo Central at that time, basically white, but they both went to college with high honors, and yeah, they were a good family. I've had blacks live next door to me, and I told them when I told people in my neighborhood when it was all white, what would I do if a black family moved in? I said I would go buy some donuts and meet them at the door when I see them moving in, and I did that 3 times, and they're all good people. And that's just the way I raise my kids, and I'm glad of it. So they have not disappointed me.
Awesome. What, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. How do you deal with change?
How do you deal with change?
It's all part of evolution. Changes is good. If things were really smooth and going real well, then we wouldn't need change. And we have to find an equitable way to make that change. And but some people are just fighting tooth and nail, and that's really too bad. But that's their problem. We have that going right now the abortion issue. Boy, it's front and center right now. The woman talked to me about it and says they were against it. I says, well, then you don't have to have one. What if you had been raped? What if it's your uncle, your good uncle, or your big brother made you pregnant? Well, how would you feel about it then? You know, and it's ridiculous. It's people try to tell you how to live, and you can't do that. People have to find their own way to live, as long as they're not hurting other people. Needless to say, I think that Trump was a disaster. Right now, we have opportunities to get rid of all of the Trump enablers. And got to get people out to vote.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, I'm always telling people to vote. It's like one of the biggest things that I share with people sometimes. But what advice would you pass on to someone who's like going through trying times or dealing with something difficult?
What advice would you pass on to someone who is going through trying times or something difficult?
Oh my goodness. Get help. Get help. Talk to somebody that is compassionate and you know well. Get some direction from them, possibly. Don't talk to your enemies. That's not going to help. They may be part of the problem. But compassion is what it's all about.
Yeah, that's great. What would you say are some of the biggest changes you've seen happen over your life, and like either how have you dealt with them or what have they meant to you?
What are the biggest changes you've had to deal with in life, and what did they mean to you?
Well, of course, the first one was to step from college into the Army. They waited for me to graduate, and suddenly I found myself in uniform and just right at the very end of Korea. So I'm a Korea veteran, but no combat because that all happened before I was drafted. But it did pay for this maternity and delivery of my firstborn, so that was helpful. I've been starting over again after like all the other guys that got drafted and went through a war. That and unemployment. I had a period of unemployment. But I always found something to do. I always I went into. I went to classes and got myself licensed for appraisals and set myself up as a real estate appraiser. And I serviced mostly attorneys and I did a couple of savings and loans, but not banks. But it was mostly divorce work, and a lot of acquaintances in the law business. But I was never really out of work.
That's great. Thank you for your service.
Always found something.
Thank you for your support.
Well, it was there. It had to be faced, and you do it. You don't bitch and moan, and you just do it. It did not hurt me a bit.
How, sort of speaking of that, how do you feel like you've been able to keep a good attitude?
I have a little advice for anybody facing the join the service and then having second thoughts. I told my grandson that when he started joining the Marines and he suddenly got cold feet, and I said, Scott, the only two things you have to remember, and you'll get along just fine. Keep your mouth shut and do what you're told. You do that, you'll get through the military and no problems at all. That's all you need.
Can you repeat that last question?
Yeah. So I just said, how do you, excuse me. Sorry. How have you been able to keep a good attitude throughout the rest of your life as well?
How have you managed to keep a good attitude throughout your life?
Well, I guess you look at the good side. You just have to. You go nuts if you just worry too much about all the bad things that happen. You got to find good things. You got to find good people, and having good friends, good, loyal, truthful friends. Wish I had abundance of.
Sorry, I keep feeling like I need to sneeze. What would you like young people to do today to help contribute to the world?
Say that again.
What would you like young people to do today to help support the world?
What would you like young people to do today to help support the world?
Get involved in community activities. Get involved when you're old enough to vote, to register and vote, and be conscious of the issues of the day. Have a compassionate, I guess is a much better way to say it, a compassionate view toward the world and other people. You have a cold attitude for people, it shows, and you're a cold person. People know it. And if you're wondering why not making friends, maybe it's because of your attitude.
What's some advice that you would give to young people in general?
And how about general advice for young people? Anything else you'd like to add as far as advice for young people?
Hey, mother and dad are still the best advisors you've got. Take advantage of it.
Great.
Of course, if you don't have a mother and father that's compassionate, will listen to you, and or maybe they're drunks or something, We have to find a compassionate teacher, counselor, somebody to help you stay on the right track.
Sorry, I just got this message from Sai. Denise, do you think he may need a break when he pauses? I just don't want to interrupt him. And also if you would like to share anything.
Would he like a break?
Yeah, I just don't want to, sometimes when he pauses, I'm worried I'm going to interrupt him. But also if you need a break either, or if you would like to share anything.
Okay. Well, I have to think about that a little bit. I'll pipe in it towards the end.
Okay. So I am out of my pre-written questions, so I don't know if there's anything you'd like us to cover specifically.
Anything else, Dad?
Well, I guess I'm curious about what happens to this after we hang up.
So after we'll hang up, like I said, I've been recording it. So I'll take the video, edit it down a little bit, and then we'll post it to the 5 Points social media and YouTube channel.
Okay, very good.
And I want to say good luck to you on your future.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
No.
Yeah, you've been great. So thank you for chatting.
I just want you're obviously doing this for some kind of extra credits, I would guess, and I hope it does you well.
Thank you.
Your future is bright.
Yep, and then we'll also share it with you, Denise, when the video is done.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I really like what you're doing. I think this is our seniors are, especially the ones that are up there in years, are such a precious resource and source of wisdom. So I'm glad you're getting some of this documented.
Yeah, of course, I am too. It's been great. Thank you.
What she's doing, and she's a good-looking gal. Of course, at 92, everybody's good-looking to me now.
That's a backhanded compliment.
That was not a nice thing to say. I apologize.
Good job, Dad.
Gosh. Yeah.
I want to thank you.
Dad just moved in with us.
That's the way I talk sometimes, and I have no idea why.
He's missing a filter.
You're good.
Your dad just moved in with us a couple weeks ago. So after not living at home since I was 18 years old, Dad and I are getting used to being around each other 24/7. Mm-hmm. And so far, so good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I feel this is a very, very, very special time.
Definitely.
Well, I'm curious to know how things go in your future. If you're in some way to keep us informed, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will. Thank you. Let's see. Thank you.
And you're kind of a granddaughter now.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for making sure.
You're a pseudo granddaughter now.
Oh, great. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Don't end up dancing in the dance hall.
All right, there's another example.
That's great.
Oh, gosh.
He's a funny guy. All right. Well,
Josh,
thank you very much for your time with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for what you're doing. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I just love this. Thank you so much.
You're holding your face like I embarrassed you, and I'm sorry.
No. I was just holding on. I was trying to keep my smile from being too wide and hurt my cheeks. It is such a pleasure. It is such a pleasure. I'm loving it. And Denise knows that we're available anytime. And I'm looking forward to the next time Ken has his get together.
Yeah.
So we
The
really
old
appreciate.
saying from the 60s, love is the answer.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we appreciate it.